14 minutes.
Are we live, Jen?
Okay, you should be on Twitch now and I'm leaving you.
Penalty even if they finish on time.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second segment out of 8. Welcome to.
Oops, somebody has sound on. Oops, somebody has sound on. So you're getting a echo. I'm leaving, okay? Echo. Where's leave? I'm leaving, okay? No,
Thank you, Jane.
I'm trying to.
Thank you, Jane.
Sorry, everyone. About
Do we have kibitzers now?
yeah, we have
We have kibitzers now?
yeah, we're just
Is my sound okay, where people can hear me without an echo?
okay. Yeah, that was Jan. So hi, everyone. Sorry about that. We're watching the second segment out of 8 in the senior trials. Watching the Hammond versus Lewis match. A lot of imps were swung in the last one, but it's still a 2-imp game. I'm Olivia, and this is Ralph Katz. All right. So here we have a 2/1 auction starting.
Wow. Diamond 2 club auctions are very tough, particularly when you have a void.
Yeah.
This might not be so bad because they probably will find their 4/4 heart fit pretty quickly.
Yeah. Ralph, would you bid 2 hearts with the north hand or 2 spades or 2 now?
Depends what, let's see, diamond 2 clubs, it would depend what we're playing. I would bid 2 no trump unless we have some system that gives me.
Yeah.
A lot of people play 2 hearts as a balanced hand and 2 no trump is artificial.
Yeah.
So now Mitch has to decide whether to show his diamond support or they're major. I think it's right to get the diamonds in. Now, if Ross bids 3 hearts, it's not clear that hearts are just groping for no trump where you rebid 2 no trump on, say, jack third or queen third of spades.
Yeah.
So it looks like they missed the 4/4 heart fit, but it is hard on these hands unless you have a very good system.
Yeah, it looks like here, I think 6 hearts can make here. Because everything is in the right spot. The heart on side and the king of clubs on side. But they're not able to find their 4/4 heart fit. It's an awkward auction, like we said. But I doubt if they found their 4/4 heart fit, they would reach 6 hearts anyways.
They'll make 3 no trump. So
Yeah.
it's not a big swing. 6 hearts, it's not a very great spot. You're almost certainly going to lose a club trick. And you need to bring in hearts. So you need the queen on side and 3/2. And there's probably a trick in the wash unless clubs are 3/3.
Yeah. So here it's a bit lucky that everything is working, but they get to the 3 no trump, which looks pretty comfortable to make. You have 4 diamond tricks, 4 heart tricks with the heart on side, and you're getting a spade trick on the lead and a club trick. So they get to the definitely more comfortable contract, but here 6 hearts, it's a lucky day. Do you want to check out the other table, Ralph?
Let's see. I tried to click to the other table. I guess you have to do that.
Yeah. Oh, so here, I see. We have a weak no trump opened. And now a splinter looks like.
A weak no trump. 3 diamonds. I'm not sure what 3. Oh wait, I might be off. 1 no trump, 3 diamonds, 3 hearts, 3 no trump, 4 hearts. They're clearly doing something artificial.
Yeah, so it looks like this was a splinter with shortness in either major. This asked, this showed.
Oh, okay.
And this was just to play. And now I
Yes.
guess they play kickback. So Paul is deciding probably the 4-0 would be exclusion because 4 spades would be normal key card, but
Good point.
I don't know. Still not clear to me. I don't know their exclusion rules, but it's not clear to me that that would be exclusion still. I don't play kickback very often, so
Well, 4 spades, well, 4 spades might be just a void.
yeah.
So I'm not sure if 4-0 trump is, I would always show the void if that's what they do. And
Yeah.
if it's kickback, then 4-0's probably a exclusion or a spade void.
Yeah. So now I guess this is just North South and North South are having their agreements tested here. And looks like they'll reach not the best slam, but it should make. You just lose 1 club and then you rough 1 club and you're home.
Yeah. Yeah, they got the handling's not so bad here with the queen of clubs behind the king.
Exactly.
It's funny as kickback. My team, there's one player on my team that absolutely loves it. He thinks it's the best convention around because sometimes you're gonna get the 5 spades with 2 plus the queen when you're playing hearts, and
Yeah.
you're off 2 key cards, and then I have another teammate that thinks it's the worst convention ever. My partner Nickel and I both think kickback is not the best, but we don't think it's the worst convention ever.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I mean, I just played with Sam Dinkins, so I played a lot of crazy system stuff, but there's something about kickback where I just can't play it. I don't know why, but I always mess it up. I always forget I'm playing it. So I'm definitely,
That's the problem.
yeah.
And then there's a rare occasion where there's an auction you haven't discussed,
Yeah.
and you don't know whether it's kickback or something else.
Mhm.
And I see no reason to cater to the 1 in 10,000 hand.
Exactly.
Stress out about forgetting or misunderstanding.
Yeah. So it actually looks like this might be a little bit awkward to play on a spade lead.
The spade lead is very good for the defense.
Yeah.
See, trumps it, leads a club. They really can't tap. Well, they could tap dummy again.
But I think if they just play a club at trick 2, then everything should be okay with 2 entries to North in the diamond suit.
Uh-oh.
Oh. This is a strange play.
Well, they're gonna try and rough 2 spades and dummy.
I guess, yeah, it's easier when we see all 4 hands, but
Reverse the dummy.
yeah. And
So let's see what happens here. If they play a diamond back, you win the 10, you're up a spade.
wow,
It's hard to the jack. I don't know.
I
This is
don't think this is gonna make anymore.
yeah, I think they still can. Let's see. So
Well,
spade return makes life easier. So say he returns a diamond. You win the 10, you play king of spades, rough a spade. Nah, diamond.
I mean, it's also possible that what's happening here is that Linda's intending to rough clubs, which would be weird, but I
Well,
mean,
it's not enough tricks.
yeah, I agree with it. It's not going to work, but
Return a diamond. You hook the heart. King of hearts. Yeah, I don't think they can make it now if they return a diamond. You're right.
entries are not good. Let's see. We can check the double dummy. Okay, it says.
So I can make it. Okay.
Let's see.
Then it's gonna have to be careful play. Let's see. let's wait and see what the return is to try and figure out the line.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
It's an entry.
So here we see the defense unintentionally doing a little bit of Declare's work for her. Rolf, maybe it works because the hand with 2 diamonds has 2 hearts. So maybe Declare like can get even on a diamond back, maybe Declare can get another entry to the north.
Yeah, you're right again.
Roughing a club.
I need the caffeine now. I'm king.
Okay, so it looks like this should make.
Yeah, they can play king of hearts, diamond to the king. Rough the last spade. They have to cash the I don't have to.
Definitely going to be a little scary though for Declare.
Oh yeah. Even with the queen of hearts on side at this point, it's not the best slam.
Yeah, relies on the hand with short diamonds not being able to rough, which is nice because West has 2 hearts and 2 diamonds, so Declare gets a bit of a lucky break today.
Maybe you should cash the ace of clubs just to see if the king drops.
That's true. That's true.
Well, they're gonna think for a second. I'm gonna go get some caffeine.
All right. I'm gonna bring up the Twitch chat, see if anyone has anything to say. Well, I can figure out how to do that. How do I? So we're seeing another swing in an already very swingy match here.
Yeah, I'm sure more imps will come around quickly.
The imps are just flying here. So it looks like Linda, today will be her lucky day. She's going to cash her diamonds, pitching her club, rough a club back to hand, and make this. I think she maybe didn't anticipate how awkward things could get. I think probably the percentage play might have just been to hope for the king of clubs onside. But
it was a good recovery.
It was a good recovery. She had to be very careful from that point, and she was, and now she's making and gonna win a pile of imps for her team. So all right, 11 imps for Lewis. The other table was in 3 now when they just made their 10 tricks, as anticipated.
Again, these 5-4-4 diamond 2 club hand auctions are tough. The other pair missed 3 no trump.
Yeah. So what do you usually play in those, just out of curiosity?
Oh, we have such an awful complicated system. It works pretty well. Nick and I came up with it on our own.
Yeah.
A diamond, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds natural, 5 diamonds, 2 hearts is artificial balanced hand. 2 spades is natural with at least 5 diamonds, and 2 no trump is all kinds of hands with shape.
So the idea there is that you're not as worried about wrong siding the no trump because more
Right.
likely to play somewhere else.
We haven't done it yet.
I play something similar on the major suit auctions. I play the 2 major rebid shows 5 and the 2 no rebid shows 6. So that.
Oh yeah, I saw that recently on it, and I think it was a junior match.
Oh, maybe it was me then.
Could have been. So I don't know, depending upon the weak two bid style with ace, queen, jack, 10, fifth spades, I'm not sure I would have raised.
Hmm.
The opponents probably don't have a game. And you can always bid 3 hearts over 3 of a minor if you want.
Yeah,
It certainly would have gone 2 hearts all pass, but if Shermer had a little better hand, he would have, he'd balance with a double, and the opponents would be playing some number of spades, maybe 4 spades even.
I would say I agree with you here. I just think with such weak minor suit holdings, you don't rate to do that well in 3 hearts. I mean,
Uh-oh. This
Oh.
worked out well, and it got Neil to balance now at the 3 level.
wow. The Lewises are on fire. All right, this is not going to be a fun spot.
If they can hold their Trump losers to 2, which ain't happening, they would make 3
no,
spades.
it's not. Yeah. All right. Ah, I see. Okay, I have the Twitch chat up now.
Other rooms when 2 hearts all pass.
Yeah, this is not going to be. I do
Yeah.
not. I feel for John here, having to play
Yeah.
this contract.
Paul's bid worked. He got him the he got him the balance.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's not probably not the intended benefit of 3 spades, but that's the thing with bridge. Sometimes you bid something hoping for one thing to happen and something else happens that's even better than you could have imagined.
Yeah,
So,
sometimes the 10% plays work and the 90% plays don't, and same
yeah.
thing bidding. You know, it's how things flop out.
Yeah, it's part of what makes bridge interesting is even with a big element of randomness, you got to take your imps where you can get them, because otherwise, the bridge gods might not be with you. All right.
You know, it's going to go 4 rounds of diamonds, pitching 2 hearts.
Yeah. So
He might play king ace and rough a club, and then a diamond. That's probably better.
yeah, parted with his heart loser, but still doesn't really have any chance to make this.
No.
No.
Is the screen moving?
Oh, sorry about that.
I thought it was my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said king ace of clubs, rough a club at this point? Or?
Maybe. I mean, you might lose to like getting overrun by the stiff 10 of spades, but
I mean, on this auction, yeah, I mean, stiff 10 of spades is possible, but on this auction, I wouldn't be super concerned about an overruff.
yeah, I would do the 3 rounds of clubs and then the diamond.
Yeah, I mean, if they overruff, it might even be good for you. Well, not overruff, if they rough before you, I guess. That's how
Yes.
it works. Yeah.
That would give Paul a lot of diamonds.
Yeah. Okay, so you predicted, yeah, ace king of clubs, rough a club.
And no reason to not just leave the diamond and give it to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leave the heart, and they can win it and now have another uppercut. So
Yeah.
what's theirs is theirs.
Yeah.
And you'll see a trump end play, so they'll probably get the king of spades at the end.
Yeah, so Declare should be able to avoid down 3 here. I guess the question is down 2 or down 1.
Let's see, what's the trick count right now? Where do I see that? 6-0?
Yeah,
So, 7, 8. Yeah, they should be, oh, that's probably not best.
yeah, probably not. Let's see.
They should just play, I think they dropped the trick. If Paul just plays ace of spades, queen of spades,
Drop.
they're gonna just get the one trick.
Yeah. Now this should be down 2.
Correct.
All right. So that's 300, another 10, 9 imps to something like that.
I
To
think
the
it's
team.
8. It's 357, 7 or 8.
I'm terrible. I'm terrible with imps. My teammates always do it for me, and now on these streams I'm
Well,
being punished for my lack of knowledge.
it's
Um,
you don't have to ever memorize that. It's either computerized or you can look on your card when you're
Yeah,
8 imps.
8 imps. Yeah. So we see this continues to be a very swingy match. The imps are definitely flying here, and so far here it's been in the favor of the Lewis team. We can go check on the other table, I guess.
They're in 3-0 Trump,
You know,
and then we've missed a few cards, so it's hard to predict.
I guess we'll just go back then. Looks like a few spades have been played.
And there's still a day and a half of bridge left in this match. So,
Yeah.
you know, I've seen matches where both teams, not too often, actually quite rarely, only once, where both teams were up 100.
Oh my. Was that an I'm sure that was in a 2-day match, not a 1-day match.
Yeah, 2-day match. It was the semifinals of the team trials around 1998.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was 98. I had a knee surgery and I was there playing, and I had a very, very sore knee.
Yeah, I mean that's gotta be a heartbreaker for the team that was initially up by 100 and then
Not sure if I remember, it was 100, 100, and then the other team won.
mm,
So but the team that was up 100 second, I believe they lost.
mhm.
It was a big scoring match, so anything can happen. And
Yeah.
talking with 60, almost 90 boards left.
So this looks like something weird is happening here. We have
Forcing Stamen, oh, transfer. Oh, but yeah, no,
So-
they're playing forcing Stamen.
okay. I've never seen that treatment before.
Oh, it's Neanderthal. It works on certain hands very well, but those Shermer and Chambers they could be the longest established pair in the US. And they've been together for 40 years. Boyd and Robinson might be close.
Uh-huh.
I don't know who else, but they've been playing forever together. Two great players and 2 really good guys.
Yeah, I mean you have to be 2 really good guys to be able to stick to a partnership with each other for that long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes players when they're 5-5, and their partner and they transfer and no partner doesn't have support, sometimes players just like to play in their major anyways, but certainly with this hand when partner has shown 4 spades, that's definitely off the table. And I think it's off the table anyways with this hand, but
Yeah. You know, partner might even have like a stiff, you know, queen of hearts.
yeah.
You have 9 tricks and no trump.
Exactly.
Much better
Yeah.
system with this hand to play transfers. And then you
Yeah.
either, you know, force the game, or if you play a gadget over 2 hearts, where two spades puppets to 2-0, and you can show 5-5 invitational,
Yeah.
which I would do. You have enough to 3-0, but partner, if he has a bit of, or a bit, higher end range, you're not going to miss a game.
I would probably, it depends on your exact no trump range and how often your partner upgrades, but I think I would just treat the West hand as a game force.
Yeah, opposite of 15 to 18.
Oh, 15 to 18. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
15
Most
to
people
18 is bad.
play 14 plus to 17 these days if they don't
Yeah.
play weak no trump. Some 14 to 16s.
Yeah. So we get a diamond lead here.
Yeah, that's not going to hurt the offense.
Yeah.
They have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, they don't have 9 tricks yet.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, they can.
So the spade lead at the other table. I gave declare a potential 9th trick, but also was a little scary with the ace of diamonds with the north hand. That spade potentially being led.
Oh, yeah. They had to keep. Let's see. They had to keep the 9 of spades.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess if the 7 of spades was led, which some people play 3rd and 5th leads against no trump, I don't, but maybe the north hand had a tough time holding on to that 9 of spades.
Yeah. But, the reason the 9 of spades is key, for those who haven't worked it out yet, when it goes, say it goes 7 of spades, low jack. Now when you get in with the ace of diamonds, if you lead the 9 of spades, you can run all the spade tricks. But if you played the 9 of spades already, then when you get in with the ace of diamonds, you lead a spade, and partner can't run the suit. They're in, and you have no other entry.
Yeah, so declare with king 3rd will just play a small one, and the south hand is forced to win it. And now if they try to play ace of spades, they lose to the king of spades.
On the 4th round.
Yeah. So here it looks like things could potentially get a little awkward for declare, but I
Well,
think,
the spade shift would have been much better here.
yeah, and I think this can still make
Well, they have to cash 2 clubs and then play 3 rounds of hearts and then play
Yeah.
sound.
yeah, I mean cash the diamonds first, but yeah.
Well, they don't even. Oh yeah, they need to do that because there's no entry, correct?
Yeah.
And then this Lewis will win the 3rd round of hearts, and all he'll have is spades to play, if assuming Neil extracts the 2 clubs that he has.
I mean, even with the heart pitch here also, declare could just like win the ace of clubs, play ace of hearts and a heart. Losing a heart to the
Yeah.
south hand, all the
That's
hearts
true too.
are set up. But I think declare, I think pretty much all routes here should lead to 3-0 making. So, yeah. So,
The other room is ahead in this match, so it's without even looking, we would know Weissel is out. He's a very thoughtful player.
yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Peter Whitesell, who's the great Bob Hammond's partner, is notorious for being a very, very slow player, very deliberate, very strong player, but very deliberate. And we saw that the time penalties in this format can get pretty significant.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate with the Levine team. There was a bit of a controversy there, but there's 7 minutes of grace period where the slow play is not penalized, and then the penalties get progressively bigger and bigger there. And that could potentially come into play. So it looks like here,
Paul made a bad play, not that it matters. If he plays, well, I
I have to admit, I would have just ducked that.
duck the
Yeah.
queen of hearts,
Yeah,
but I guess it doesn't, it couldn't matter. Your partner might have the jack of spades.
yeah, I mean, doesn't
So
really
you want to
matter.
have the declare, have a guess. If it goes ace of hearts and a heart, you play the queen, they can just duck. If
Yeah,
you play the jack of hearts, now they have to guess because the partner has the queen, they need to win the ace. And if partner doesn't have the queen, they, it will actually, it doesn't matter, but they don't want North to get in. On this.
yeah. All right, so 1 imp to the Hammond team. A spade had come back. I think the spade had come back earlier in the hand. Declare
Well,
would still make it, but
Can you go back and see if they let a spade? Did they play a spade? And what, 9?
oh yeah, let's see the scorecard. Where is it?
That's the board.
Here. Ah, the queen of spades was led. Interesting.
There you go.
The queen of spades was led, and now the 9 of spades was played.
Oh,
Upside down attitude. Yeah. So I guess this hand would be a good argument for standard at trick 1.
or a 3, a trick 1.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think Mitch probably led the queen. He was probably thinking the dummy could have stiff jack of spades.
yeah, and as we saw more normal auction here happen where West transferred to hearts and then bid the diamonds, which made the stiff jack of spades increasingly likely, but unfortunately today did not work out so well.
I think with the queen of spades lead, if he doesn't play the 9, if the declare ducks 2 rounds,
let's see.
I think he's cold.
It says on the queen of spades lead.
Yeah, it's cold. He has to just duck 2 spades.
Yeah, because now the threat of a spade coming through is kind of moot. But if we see here, the double dummy says on a low spade lead now declares not cold because, like we were talking about before, the 9 of spades can come back, which makes declare's life very sad. All right.
Sometimes it doesn't pay to be thoughtful.
Yes. Sometimes you have to go to sleep when you play bridge and just let the imps come.
So it looks like they play Raptor over 1 club. 1 trump is 5 or more diamonds in a 4-card major.
Ah, interesting. Let's see. Oh no, it's just a regular 15.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And 1 club is 2+. Yeah. So now looks like north south might miss out on their spade fit. Some players might overcall 1 diamond with the east hand. Ralph, what do you think?
I like hitting a diamond. You do have 16, the 1 trump bids preemptive, but you may not get to spades or diamonds if it's right.
That's true.
Yeah, because a club of no trump in your 4-3-3 or 4-4-3-2 sometimes you don't look for.
Is that? Oh, sorry. Is that affected at all for you by your partner being a passed hand? Which
No.
okay. Yeah, but I'm guessing
You're right against white. If you were favorable and you were trying to steal the hand, maybe.
Yeah, oftentimes we'll see players who are favorable. They like to maybe exaggerate how strong their hand is a little bit just to get in their opponent's faces. That's commonly seen with 1 no trump overcalls.
So what is Shermer going to do over 2 spades now?
Yeah. Let's see, 2 clubs. So this is just regular salmon now.
Uh-huh.
But I'm guessing East with such a bad diamond suit and the great positional values in clubs just decided I don't care about the diamonds.
I believe you make 5 diamonds, but they should not make very many no trump.
Yeah. Yeah. See, in no trump you get 5 diamond tricks, 2 aces, and the queen of spades for 8 tricks.
Yeah, it's unlucky the club hook is off, but it's also lucky that the opponents at least don't run the first 3 spade tricks.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just so hard.
it's theoretically possible if South leads a club, and then maybe if East is up to the brave play of just like leading a spade out, maybe the opponents will.
No, I think what they have to do with a club lead is cash the ace queen of clubs and play it. When they're done, play a diamond and leave a low club and play somebody
I
for
see.
king third.
Yeah, that's a good point. Forgot about the king third of clubs coming in here, which is nice for declare. It looks like at the other table, they just ended up in 1 no trump. I'm
Yeah,
guessing
same here.
what happened there is the East hand also chose to overcall 1 no trump instead of 1 diamond, and the West hand with only 6 high card points passed that out. So you'll notice here with the West hand, 6 high card points. Most people would usually just pass this over a 1 no trump opening, but commonly players will be a lot more aggressive when their partner overcalls 1 no trump, because it means that the honors are well slated and all their finesses will probably be winning. So looks like that's what happened with the West hand here. John Shermer, only 6 high card points, but he decided that because the finesses were probably on and his extra shape, he chose to be a little more aggressive and bid 2 no trump. Or sorry, he had to bid 2 no trump at that point, but he chose to invite.
Yeah, you could be playing 1 no trump down when you're called for 4 hearts. If
Exactly.
partner has 4 hearts and weakish spades.
Yeah, I like the aggression here, especially red. So it looks like Declare is probably going to make this here. You know, we saw Declare unblock the ace of clubs and is now playing diamonds. So it looks like
Well,
Declare
he still has a guess,
does have a guess.
but he probably, let's see, he probably needs North to have the ace king of spades, and he knows North has a heart on her, so he probably should guess or play for king third of clubs in the south hand. Otherwise,
Yeah.
he's not very likely to be able to make this.
Yeah. So Ralph is saying is there's still a lot of danger in this spade suit here. So if Declare plays the jack of clubs, hoping for 10-3 in the south hand, then North could win it and rates to have better spades, or rates to have decent spades, but there's still room in the south hand for good spades that would allow the defense to take a lot of tricks in spades. So even if it is 10-3, Declare could still have some work to do. But now we see the a small spade and the jack of spades from Linda, which makes that kind of a moot point. And now, oh, okay.
Well,
Well, I was going to say this hand just got a little more interesting, but actually,
yeah, would have liked to have seen Neil guess it.
yeah, I think
would
he would have. Without the spade pitches, I think he surely would have guessed it, but I think the spade pitches make it a little more tough.
Yeah, and the 10 of clubs was the icing on the cake.
Yes. Yes. Now, with those spade pitches, he doesn't even have to sweat. He knows he's safely made his contract. He's been careful in the diamond suit to maintain the 9 as an entry, and he will make this contract. And so it looks like if we look at the score, the Hammond team has 51.25 imps. I'm not sure if that means that there's been some slow play penalties or if there's some tie break thing, or if there's been some adjustment on a board. I'm not sure what's happened, but like we said before, slow play could certainly play a part in this.
See what
Oh,
they
wow.
had.
Wow. I have to say with the East, I mean, 4 clubs was the result in the other room. With the East hand, I would never want to play 4 clubs.
And they may get to 6 clubs.
Yeah. And the Queen of Clubs is not dropping, so 6 clubs is not a good spot.
Yeah, the ace, king of hearts are on lead, so you're gonna get the heart lead, or you would make it for sure.
So we have someone in the chat saying that it looks like a 0.75 imp penalty. So that would appear to be a time penalty then, I guess, I think. If it's 0.75, I don't know what else would be a 0.75 imp penalty.
Yeah, that's what it says on the USBF site.
Yeah.
So the match is closer than we thought.
So I just got an email from Jan saying that saying that there are already slow play penalties coming. This is definitely, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, Ralph, but this is definitely something to be expected from the seniors. In my experience, these players tend to be a bit slower, more deliberate, but we see them in their slower pace. These stone cold
It depends
players,
who it is, but I agree.
they're very deliberate, and they're very, you know, I'm always scared when I'm playing against slow players because they're not going to let anything slip by them. So certainly can't fault any of the players for being slow. Oh, we have an interesting treatment here. 2 spades showing 8+ tricks in any suit.
I've never heard of that one.
I have not either. I've seen a lot of treatments for 2 spades here. I personally play it as a limit raise and partners minor, but I have not seen 8+ tricks in any suit.
I personally like invitational jump shifts.
Yeah.
They've been pretty good over the years. There are 2 benefits. One, you get to stop, and 2, and the other one is like a diamond, a spade, 2 diamonds, 3 spades, you can set trumps right away. And you know, instead of messing around with 4 suit forcing and then bidding.
Yeah, those 4 suit forcing auctions can be a little awkward, especially the higher they start. Yeah, like a heart, a spade, 2 diamonds, 3 clubs, for example, is a very awkward auction.
Paul passed. I mean, you might go for a number, but I'd come in 3 hearts just to mess up their system.
That's a good point.
Out at a level or 2 higher.
Yeah, I'm guessing this 2 spades bid does not come up that much for Shermer and Chambers. You know, it's not that often you have 8+ tricks in any suit. So I'm sure that the 3 hearts competition might have messed them up. Just because the less a bid comes up, the less you're going to know about your competitive agreements over it. But like you said, they've been playing together for like 40 years. So
yeah, and how often does this hand come up? This auction.
Yeah.
Most pairs have bids over competition, but the more you bid, the less room you take up. The one that gets the opponents a lot is like in precision or over gazilli is if you make a delayed bid. So you pass the first time and then you come in. And that's where those auctions are not discussed a lot, because it's
Yeah.
rare when that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Because oftentimes players will have agreements when their opponents bid for the first time, because most of the time your opponent is gonna take their first opportunity to come into the auction. But what Ralph's talking about is being cheeky and waiting just to mess with them. I have to say, Ralph, I am a fan of throwing in some bids sometimes just to mess with the opponents. Yeah, it's one of those tactical things that can often work well.
Yeah, tactics is part of the game.
Yeah. So
Now I'm
They-
getting a ton of texts. There must be lots of kibitzers, because I'm getting lots of texts that Hammond got a 0.75 in penalty. I don't know if it was Bob himself or the pair or just the team.
yeah. So it looks like they almost ended up in 4 spades here, potentially. I mean, obviously they didn't, but if 4 spades is natural, then conceivably West might have passed. To try
No, it was, the West wasn't gonna try and play a 4-3 pick. When
Yeah.
partners shown lots of tricks in a club suit.
Yeah,
So they got the 6, which is a pretty good spot. You need the clubs to come in or no Hartley. But
Uh,
they're obviously gonna get a Hartley here.
I
Would have
mean,
been better if Shermer was able to play bid clubs first.
yeah, so now,
But
yeah, this just has no hope here. We see 4 clubs at one table, 6 clubs at the other table.
yeah,
So Ralph, I know some pairs have the agreement that they pretty much can never play in 4 of a minor unless it's like one of these like competitive auctions. Are you a fan of that style where,
no. I think you should be able to get out in 4 of a minor under, an unpracticed partnership, sure. But
Yeah.
there's too many times you're trying for 3-no trump and you have 25 highs, maybe even 24,
yeah,
and you don't have a great fit. And why do you have to get to 5 clubs?
yeah.
And,
I mean, so often you just look at your hand and you think, there's no way we only lose 2 tricks here, and there's no way we take 9 tricks and no trump, and you just want to play 4 of a minor.
right. You might not even make 4 of a minor, but 5 of a minor might be, if things break poorly, you might be going for a number.
Yeah, and it's also a lot easier for the opponents to double you in 5 of a minor because they can just look at their hand and see the tricks without much help from their partner. So here we have 6 imps to Lewis, as this continues to be a very swingy match. And now another slam hand.
This they may set the all-time record for the most imps scored in a 2-day match at this pace.
But Ralph, I think that the time penalties subtract. So we have 2 things going on here. We have the players and the boards swinging more and more imps, but now we have the imp total coming down.
Be ashamed to see a record not broken because of the time penalty.
Yeah, that's one of the sad parts of the game, in my opinion. I mean, obviously something has to be done for slow play, but you always hate to see something that's not related to the cards being played decide the outcome of a match. So we have a gambling 3-no trump opening.
3-no trump, and well, South has, assuming they don't play an outside, you can have an outside ace. South has an easy 6-no bid. Or 6 diamond bid. If diamonds go 4, if partner doesn't have the jack, you could have a trump coup, but I'd probably risk the 2 imps.
I mean, I would certainly bid 6 diamonds with the south hand. 6-no, given the gambling 3-no thing, is actually not even cold because a spade lead comes and ruins your day.
Oh, right, you're playing it from the north.
Yeah, so we see
One reason I don't.
Oh, yeah.
One of the many reasons I don't like gambling 3-no trumps.
That's a good point. Could definitely win imps, but sometimes you might just open your minor and reach 3-0 anyways, and now you play it from partner's hand and the opponents can't find the killing lead through the Claire. So we have the winning bid from Paul Lewis, but this will be a couple imps to the Hammond team. Sorry. Sorry, my mom came in. All right, let's go to the other table here. Looks like there won't be much to the play here.
No, it's 3 imps, whether they hold it or not. It'll
Yeah.
be 13, 90, 80. No, there's an imp at stake if he leads the ace of spades.
I guess we'll see if he leads the ace of spades and then go back to the other table because we're a little late to the other table, so hard to see what's going on there. What would you lead with the West hand?
I probably lead the ace of spades or a heart. I'm one. It's Remy's role. Vince Remy was a great player from Michigan. Came up rule. When in doubt, lead your aces against slams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of times you either have a trick you're always going to get, or you have two tricks that you have to take immediately, and that's worked out pretty well.
I mean, oh, sorry.
Yeah, here it's not clear. I mean, you're probably heart leaded imps may be better just because you know, the declare almost certainly has the king of spades.
Yeah, I think
It's not drawn.
at match points, I think the ace of spade lead looks pretty appealing. I've definitely been burned in the past though, trusting that the opponents have control in every suit, and you know, we don't have an ace. We can't have an ace king cashing because the opponents wouldn't have bid the slam, and then we have the ace king cashing the suit. It's not super common, but certainly something to keep in mind on an auction like this, where it's possible South had like 5 spades or something and was just deciding their partner probably had a stiff spade. So it's not likely, but it's possible they could have had the ace king of spades cashing.
We had a hand, oh my God, over 40 years ago. I'm playing in a regional of Canada, and when they didn't have a million events. In the last event, we were actually playing the last match for the win, which would have set a record. We would have won our 5th regional event, and I was on lead with an ace queen, and I asked about the auction, and the guy said this asked about heart control, and he bid slam.
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't have the heart control, so I could have led the ace and cashed the king. My partner had the king, and they were cashing. They ended up making all the tricks, and we lost the event on my lead. So, and he even said it was asking for heart control.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Honestly, on those boards, when stuff like that happens, I just say, okay, you know, you guys bid this weird, you take your imps.
Well, it was a long drive home, and my partner didn't have a lot of sympathy.
Yeah, who was your partner? If you remember?
Jim Zimmerman. He used to play, great match point player. I learned a lot from him. And he rarely plays anymore. I hope it wasn't because of me, but
yeah. So here we have a similar situation to the hand we were talking about earlier, where with 5 spades facing a weak 2 bid, the partner of the week 2 bid could opt to pass. So what would you do with the north hand here, Ralph?
I would pass, but I think John's gonna bid. He might actually bid 2-no trump.
Oh, I see.
The only reason for not making a call, your partner's a pass can. So you bid
Yeah.
3 clubs.
So-
Now
I was
North
thinking-
might
yeah.
bid 3 hearts.
Yeah. I think I would bid 3 hearts here.
Yeah, it
Maybe.
depends upon your style. You know, if you're playing with some of the young junior guys, I would be afraid of competing the 2 hearts the way they open their week 2 bids.
Yeah, I mean, certainly with a lot of my partners, I would pass here because I wouldn't be confident we had an 8 card fit. Partners second seat favorable. People tend to see a favorable vulnerability and preempt whenever they can. But with a more sound partner, I think I might just bid 3 spades without much defense. Or sorry, no, you do have
Yeah.
defense. What am I saying? You have the ace king. But I would think we have a good chance to make it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to though. They're gonna lose 2 clubs, a diamond, and at least 2 hearts.
Yeah,
See, on the other side of the coin, 2, 3, 4. They might make 3 clubs.
looks like 3 clubs made in the other room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, queen third of clubs is in the pocket in the week 2 bidders hand. See, they probably lost 2 diamonds, is spade and a heart.
Yeah. All right, so
So if they hold it to down 1, then it'll be a 2-limp win.
but Declare, I mean Declare could still make this here though. It's certainly possible that Declare could sneak a diamond through.
Yeah,
That's a play that I always like to make. Pretty much as soon as I can, if I have a stiff facing like King Jack something in the dummy, pretty much always as soon as I can, just play small to the king. And you'd be surprised how often it works.
yeah, but here, John, if he shifts to a spade and gets attitude, negative attitude from Neil, they're gonna play a heart from dummy. Oh, they may play a club, but he's gonna know that there's no reason Paul's playing diamonds here when the spades are running.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If it doesn't shift to the spade, then it might be a little harder to figure out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But looking at the ace, king of spades and 5th of spades and dummy, it there's a source of potential source of tricks.
Yeah.
He may not duck, but if he shifts to a spade, he'll almost certainly if they play attitude on that and it's not suit preference, then he'll know to grab the diamond.
Yeah, and especially with Queen Jack third of trumps, John has a good idea of why Declare is not trying to pitch this the diamond on the spades, because he knows that Declare's hearts aren't running. Which is another reason that if John plays a spade back and gets the negative attitude from partner, I'm sure.
I think they can beat it too if he plays a high heart back.
Uh-huh.
A high heart, and then Neil has to duck it. And then when he gets in with the ace, they have 2 clubs to catch.
Interesting. Yeah, that looks right. So he's cashing the ace of diamonds.
Right, so it's going down 1 now.
But I mean, it's still theoretically possible. I don't think this is going to happen, but if John comes back a spade, a diamond here, so this is actually going to make.
Oh, wow, yeah, he sticks in. I think Paul had to stick in the 8 of diamonds.
Yeah, he had to stick in the 8. so I guess not now.
No,
Well, it was there's a stat on Love Bridge for fate changing plays, meaning plays that change the potential result of the contract, and we just saw a couple fate changing plays there.
no, now they can beat it another.
Let's see.
He'll probably cash the ace of clubs, but he plays the skip spade back. Now he'll get a rough.
I see, yeah.
So it's been a little bit of ping pong going back and forth on the tricks.
That's true.
But it's hard to guess on some of these hands. You just never know what the
Well,
declare is.
I mean, isn't it? He's still getting a spade rough, no?
Yeah, he's getting a spade rough.
Ah, okay. I thought you were saying. Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about the tricks bouncing back and forth.
Yeah. I mean, bridge is a hard game. It's definitely a lot easier when you see all the hands. So now Neil finds the spade back.
So it's a push.
There's a push. Yes.
It would have been prettier to see a queen of hearts a trick too ducked around.
Yeah. All right. So finally, we see something very rare in this match, but very common in other matches. Ralph, we see a push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a board of match push, but a imp push.
Yeah.
So 3 hearts down 2. Kind of unlucky. The king of diamonds is offside. The king queen third of hearts is offside, and the king of spades is offside.
Yeah, this is a very sad contract.
Yeah.
Looks like you
Um,
have a lot of hope, and then everything just doesn't go your way.
Yeah, about 1 out of 8 times you'd actually make 4 hearts on this.
Yeah. And about 1 out of 8 times, maybe.
Yeah,
go
well,
down.
you essentially need 2 finesses, bringing in the heart suit and bringing in a club trick, unless there's 10 doubleton or
Yeah.
king doubleton on diamonds on side and guess it.
So it looks like, oh, sorry, yeah.
Go ahead.
This could be a system win for Linda and Paul. They're playing a weak no trump, so Linda will probably just transfer to hearts, and it's possible that Paul makes a super accept, but I think he probably won't with,
No, 4 triple 3.
Yeah.
That'd be gross.
yeah. And those queen jacks don't rate to be so good. So he'll probably just bid 2 hearts here, and that's where it'll be played. Which,
Unless John bids with the 6-4 and the blacks.
yeah, it's possible. It's also possible we see Neil thinking a little bit here. I mean, I wouldn't make a lead directing double, but he thought for a bit.
I wouldn't make a lead directing double at match points with that suit.
Yeah, no, I would. It's a very easy pass for me. So now we see John with his 6-4 hand. He's starting to think a little bit, but he passes. All right, so this is a system win for the weak no trump. I find oftentimes the system wins for weak no trump versus strong no trump tend to be pretty random.
Sure. And it's not a big win. They'll probably go down and then
Yeah.
2 hearts.
Yeah,
2 hearts, 2 clubs, a diamond, and a spade.
definitely. So 1, 2, 3, 6. Yeah. And king of clubs lead here. Seems to be pretty good for declare.
Yeah, you want to go to the other table? This looks like it's just going down one unless they do something gross. So what is this? They're in 4 spades.
Okay. 4 spades. Sorry, no, I don't think there's any way to see the previous tricks.
Well, Neil has more spades than either hand.
Yeah,
But yeah, this does not look good.
it's not.
Yeah, there's 2 aces and 2 trump tricks.
Yeah. Unless he roughs with the ace here, which I doubt he will do. That would cut the defense's trump tricks potentially just to 1 and could declare more.
Oh, I'm sorry. So they have, yeah, when he follows suit, it'll all be the
Oh,
same.
I see. Sorry, I thought for some reason I thought it was like he was roughing somehow with his flat hand. Sorry about that.
It's tough coming into the middle of the hand. I got confused too.
Yeah,
But they have 3 aces. So well. Yeah, this might make, okay.
yeah. So it looks like we didn't see the beginning of the hand, but it looks like Declare potentially did well to play the trump suit in the right way to pick up the looks like ace 10 fourth.
Yeah, Wes overcalled 2 clubs, so
Pretty
Rob had
intuitive.
some idea who had the length.
Yeah, that's one of the flaws with bidding is that it can help you and your partner reach a part score, your partner make the right lead, but it can also be a nice asset to Declare and the card play to be able to guess right. And it looks like that probably made Declare's life a little easier.
So now they're going to be playing no trump essentially.
Yeah.
After the king of spades pulls the last trump.
But things are potentially a little awkward here. You don't have an entry to the third. You don't have an entry to the third heart.
Oh, yeah.
I think Declare will go down here without a way to get rid of that diamond. Ah, I see.
Well, they better cash the ace of diamonds now.
Yeah, you cash the ace of diamonds, and now you play the queen of clubs, and West is essentially end played into giving you a dummy entry. Because if you don't cash the ace of diamonds and you play the queen of hearts, now West can just duck it and oh well, I guess you could play the queen of hearts and then cash the ace of diamonds and you're still okay. Oh, but
Wait, hold on here.
he hasn't played the queen of clubs yet.
Ace of hearts.
Well, now you can just play the ace of hearts and another heart.
No. Then he
Oh,
just plays the queen of clubs.
yeah. So it's an interesting ending. It looks like Declare should probably. This is okay. Yeah, Declare is okay. It's a little awkward.
She
though.
has to duck this, I believe. Or does he? No, if he ducks it, then Mitch has to play
It's to cash a
ace of
diamond.
diamonds.
Yeah. But I think Mitch will make this. So if he doesn't cash the diamond, then and he plays, say, another heart, then Mark could have just cashed his 2 aces and played a diamond, but it looks like
Yeah.
Mitch is he's figured out the correct play here, and he was careful to not cash a second diamond there, because if he cashed a second diamond, then looks like he would be squeezing the south hand. So
He wanted to play hearts for 3-3. then he should cast the second diamond and pitch his hard. Or not 3-3, but to playing Itabashi for 3 diamonds.
Yeah, that could work there.
Yeah, the way the play went, it didn't look that way.
Yeah. So now we see Itabashi thinking, and he's probably going to realize pretty soon that it's all over for the defense. You know, you can probably picture this is Declare's exact hand at this point, because Declare played a low club to the 10, which held, and that's all the defense can do at this point. As we see, Mark has to concede an entry to the south hand for South's 2 winning tricks. So that was a pretty interesting ending. Yeah.
Since there were only 2 diamonds out, if Itabashi had 3 hearts, then the diamonds were breaking.
Yeah.
So he knew he was cold.
Yeah. So Mitch did well there. All right. Wow, we see a pretty bad club split here. But it looks like the north hand will open 1 club, so West is not going to be as tempted to bid clubs. But if something to note is at the other table, the Lewises are playing a weak no trump, so that could be a winner for the weak no trump if West decides to come in with 3 clubs at some point over the weak no trump, which I don't know that would happen, but if it does, then it's gonna get a little ugly.
Yeah, we no trump pass, 2 diamonds. Boy, I don't think, when you know the hearts are like, if hearts are breaking badly, then you might be going for a number or slowing them down or telling them how to play the hearts. And if partner has a big heart fit, I don't think you're keeping them out. Not partner, if their partner has a big heart fit,
Yeah,
you're just not going to keep them out. So
I agree with you.
I don't know what they did with no points and
Yeah.
medium shape, especially red against white.
Yeah, red against white, definitely the downside is bigger than the upside there.
Yeah, this is all assuming that they open the weak no trump, or they do open a weak
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. All right,
Mitchell, yeah, hit 4 hearts.
4 hearts, so. Seems like a pretty routine spot to be in. 4 hearts, so Declare is gonna have to deal with the 4-1 heart split, but doesn't seem like there's any way to play the trump suit where you don't pick up the 4-1 hearts. So Declare's got a spade loser, a diamond loser. Looks like this should probably make 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 if he leads the king of clubs. Well, they can duck the opening club lead and play it safe.
Interesting. That would be a nice play to duck the club lead and then draw trumps and pitch the losing spade on the ace of clubs.
You have to set up diamonds too, so it's not that easy. Now here, if another diamond comes back, it's going to get rough with the 7, over rough with the 10, so they're probably going to lose a trump trick.
That's a good point.
They could, and if they pitch the spade, then the king of clubs is going to come back and get roughed. So I don't see him making an over trick on this hand.
Yeah. Unless Mitch makes some sort of very good read somehow, but
Yeah, or Neil plays back a major suit and not a diamond.
yeah, I think he'll play back the diamond though. Knowing his partner has 2. But he is thinking, so we'll see. But that the duck of the ace of clubs would be a very awake play.
Well, it's playing for club 7-1. Yeah,
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't do it because you still have some work to do on the hand. But if, say you were in slam and your diamonds were all good, then it's sort of a free play.
Yeah. To avoid getting roughed. Yeah.
Unless you can
It's
picture a spade on the third round of diamonds,
Yeah.
diamond over color. That didn't look likely.
Well, here now Declare is just going to cash the king of hearts and then see West show out. So I think the overtrick will come.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad.
But if somehow East diamond was high and then North was forced to rough, then
Well, the other thing also would be, even if you
Oh.
can the club. Oh,
oh
you can't club. Zoned out here.
well
So now when the diamond comes back. It's not going to get roughed
yeah.
and over roughed. So now he can claim for.
Interesting. Why
Oh,
do-
hang
why do you
on. He can pitch the spade and rough the spade now. There's so many different ways this hand could have gone.
So why do you think Declare chose to play the ace of clubs there? It strikes me as being a little bit of a strange play.
He was going to cross rough, I think. He was going to play ace of clubs and rough a club. He was probably worried about Itabashi having 4 hearts.
I see.
So he was going to play ace of clubs, rough a club, 2 rounds of spades to 9 of diamonds.
Yeah. But as
And
you point
going to get rough, he'd over rough, he'd rough a club and get out the last, cash 1 high heart and get out a spade if
so as you point out, the overtrick is still coming though.
it certainly looks that way.
Yeah. Seems like we were talking about before, the ping pong, but actually wasn't the ping pong. Yeah. So it looks like there was a swing. I'm just gonna.
Oh, they missed game.
They missed game here. Interesting.
Let's see, 12 opposite 5, 11, 13, and a 4-4 spade. But
I see.
okay.
So
2 clubs double.
I see. So with a lead directing double, Linda showed club stopper, and now when the auction continued, even though Paul had a 13 count, he viewed his king of clubs as being a pretty wasted value.
And Linda looked at her queen of clubs and looked at it as a wasted value, and she didn't set with, what was the no trump range?
Probably 10 to 14, 12 to 14, I think.
Yeah, it's a pretty ugly 13 count, especially with the queen of clubs. Yeah, I don't think anybody did anything awful there.
It's just the lead directing double though,
Yeah.
got in their way because they both were not able to evaluate their hand properly. So like we mentioned earlier, the 3 club bid was not made. Seems pretty normal to not make it, but would have been very painful to bid 3 clubs here. Okay. We will head to the other table.
Let's see, the dealer is east. Neil's going to open that hand.
Yeah. Now Mitch is going to bid
1 or 4.
probably 1 would be my guess when you're looking at 4 spades. But what would you bid with the south hand?
if I had the 10 of hearts, I gotta say I'd put the pressure on and did 4.
Yeah,
I think 1 heart is probably right.
yeah. My experience has been generally that opening 4 hearts works a little better than overcalling 4 hearts. I don't know why, but I feel like when I overcall 4 hearts, it doesn't normally work. Ah,
Oh.
he overcalls 4 clubs.
So they're playing some type of Namiance bid that
Interesting.
probably shows a decent 4 heart bid.
Yeah. I haven't seen that. That's interesting.
Oh, and it works pretty good. It gets the ace of clubs on lead.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's pretty. They have to lead a spade and a club back to beat this.
yeah. Um,
The 8 of hearts is an entry to the diamonds.
I mean, I think it's certainly possible that a spade is led. It doesn't look like a very appealing lead, but on this type of auction, I think it definitely pays to lead pretty aggressively. What do you think, Ralph?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
A diamond lead might not do it even if partner has okay diamonds.
For me, a diamond lead would be out of the question here. Just when you know your opponent has such a long suit here and you know your tricks are probably going away, it feels like a diamond lead is probably giving up. You can't trust that your tricks are gonna be your tricks forever. Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, so we see a spade lead. A very
Yeah.
very good lead here by Neil Silverman. Very aggressive lead. I like a spade lead a little better than a club lead. Because yeah, club lead's probably not going to be quite as winning.
Yeah, I would lead a diamond before a club, I think.
Yeah, I agree. But I like a spade lead from a traditionally pretty awkward holding to lead from, but on this auction, definitely pays to be aggressive, and it's gonna pay if Itabashi wins it and plays a club back, which seems like his only play here, seeing the Queen of Hearts or the Queen of Spades in the dummy and avoid in diamonds. I think he'll certainly win this and play a club back, especially given his partner opened 1 club. So, Ralph, we were saying he's probably either going to bid 1 or 4.
Yeah,
But he bid 4 something else.
yeah. Well, that was good until Neil led a spade. Now I think it may get a little complicated, but I think they make 3-no trump. Say they lead a heart.
I see, with the 10 of clubs turns out to be a very useful card here because
Yeah, heart lead might foil it.
heart lead.
Yeah, spade lead, they'd make 3-no. A heart lead, you're just too bollocks up. If they lead a club, it's your 9th trick. If you lead a diamond, it's easy.
Yeah,
If they lead a spade, it should go low, ace, unblock the 10. They play a club back, and
yeah,
now get out a heart. So you cash 3 rounds of hearts ending in dummy and lead a low spade. You cash some diamonds. But well, yeah, you cash 1 diamond and then you lead a spade. And you'd make 3-no trump. So it takes a heart lead, I believe, to beat 3-no trump.
yeah. Wow. So this should be a very good board for the Lewis team. It's possible it's a push, but
Well, now the only problem would be is Itabashi led the 9 of clubs back. So now Neil's going to have to guess whether oh no, the declarative probably doesn't have a singleton spade here. No,
yeah,
forgetting the dummy, you see the doubleton club and dummy, so there could be an overrup, but If partner has jack third.
I think he's just gonna cash his tricks, seeing that he only needs 4. He sees 4 tricks, and they're probably not getting roughed.
Well, if the dummy had a stiff spade,
Yeah,
then he has to play for the uppercut. So the dummy could have anything, you know, he's just gonna bid 4 hearts.
yeah.
So,
Actually, probably this will be a push because the other table will probably just it'll go like a club, some amount of hearts. They'll reach 4 hearts and they'll lead a club.
well, Neil has a guess here. I think he'll go right, but
Hmm.
say the declare north had 1 less heart and 2 less spades and 1 more club. Then with jack third of hearts, he has to give him the uppercut. So he gave him false count with the 9 of clubs.
Yeah. Yeah. So
He's gonna
No.
think.
okay, so Neil did well. Neil did very well here to not only lead his spade, but also find also cash his tricks instead of trying to play for the uppercut. So good job. Good job to Neil. Wow. All right. We'll head over to the other table. The East hand passed. This could potentially
Another
Right.
week. Hold on, what happened here? A heart pass, a no trump, double by the passed hand. 2 hearts only. North stepped it again.
I would certainly bid at least 3 hearts. I mean, double makes things a little scary, but I just think when you're 7-4 with this good of a heart suit, I'd be very scared of my partner just passing this out.
Yeah, they're gonna get the game. And now
Yeah.
Shermer's gonna have to find
Yeah.
a black suit lead.
Yeah. If he leads a spade, then he can get to the club shift, because the defense keeps control. But
You might lead a diamond.
yeah, I mean, on this auction, it doesn't look as appealing to make such an aggressive lead. And obviously this is a different hand leading, but the auction we were talking about earlier is very different because it seems like things are going to be very distributional. Your tricks could be going away, whereas here, I would say this auction doesn't call for quite as much aggression. So Shermer makes probably a normal diamond lead on this auction. Would you say, Ralph?
It's close between a club and a diamond.
Okay. Well,
It's sort of normal, but it's very close.
yeah. Here the winning lead would have been a club, but now the defense is gonna their club tricks go away. Oh. Okay. Well, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, they could have made 5. But
Yeah. So we see Paul is choosing to pitch his spades instead of his clubs, hoping that the ace of clubs is onside, which I guess the lack of a club lead could potentially point to that being the case.
yeah. And if he plays 3 rounds of diamonds and pitches 2 clubs and say a spade, then you have to lead a spade from dummy and hope the 8 of hearts is another entry, but there's potential spade roughs and uppercuts.
Yeah.
So, you know, it doesn't look good in Paul's play, but it may be the right play.
Yeah. Here, I don't know that the over trick really matters here. See, a
Yeah,
female-
it's an M.
oh, okay, it is a. I'm not. I'm not so good.
It's six, it'd be 650, 750. Yeah, it was a 1 M difference.
So here, I guess the key to this board was probably the opening style. My guess is that Shermer and Chambers play a less aggressive opening style, where Chambers was not able to get his one club bid in as kind of a lead direct to partner, and they did not find the winning lead there.
It's a nice 11 count, but yeah, they're probably closer to Rothstone than the standard
And
expert opening bids these days.
Yeah, but also with a rebid problem, it makes it less appealing to open the bidding. You
Yeah,
guys,
rebid a no trump or raise spades. The problem would be if it went a club past a diamond, then you're kind of stuck for a bit.
yeah, I mean, it's not a huge rebid problem, but it's certainly not the most appealing rebid.
And I also raise a lot more than most people do on 3-card support. Shouldn't give away my style.
I'm
But let's see, this is,
taking notes, don't worry. Well, I played your team in the Spingold, or in the Vanderbilt, in the first
did you
round.
beat us?
No. We lost by like 1 million. My partner and I, we wanted to play the mixed pairs the next day.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, but I don't think we played at your table. But when we were down
No.
by 100, I psyched against Bobby and Steve twice on one board. I psyched and
That's
then
not one word. I've never heard that.
I psyched a first seat favorable no trump, or third seat favorable no trump. I'm sorry, and then it came time to reveal my psych because I couldn't play 2 no doubled. So then I psyched which suit I had psyched in, just because we were down by 100 and I thought it would be fun.
Very creative.
Saved a couple imps, but definitely not something I would have done. In
I think you
different-
wore us out for the next day. We played, they weren't seeded. They were like the 73 seed.
Oh yeah,
Pretty good team.
I remember. Yeah, you guys got it pretty rough.
Yeah, we played okay. We didn't play great, but we played well enough that, we would win most matches. But they played really well and they didn't have any, I don't think any, they had one unlucky hand. And they did play great.
Yeah. Sometimes that's just how bridge is. You can play pretty well and your opponents, it's just their day. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you play crappy, and especially at match points, and you still have 65%.
Yeah, match points is weird because I feel like with match points, you can play pretty well and get like I don't know, under 50. And you can play really bad and the imps the match point just like fall in your lap. And you have no choice but to get like a 60%.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah. All right. So pretty normal 4 hearts contract there, making 5. On to the next board here. I mean, playing raw stone style, it's conceivable that maybe the West hand passes, but I would not expect that.
So heart of spade, 2 spades, 4 spades, probably. They may check to see if they raised on 3.
Yeah.
Hearts are 3-3.
So
And
here's
you
the thing,
might get a diamond lead.
your teammates would open a Flannery here, no?
Yeah, so would Nick and I. They convinced us to play Flannery.
I didn't realize that you guys were playing it. What about Greco and Hampson?
No, they play precision, so they need 2 diamonds.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So they're not at the party, the Flannery party.
Yeah, when I was young, I knew Bill Flannery. He was from Pittsburgh.
Oh.
Where I grew up in Pittsburgh and Steubenville, Ohio. And he was old, but he was a very good bridge player. He was very, very nice. And he was also, and he looked at even at like 65, 70, you could tell he was a semi-pro football player.
Oh, wow.
And he still had a very good physique.
Uh-huh. Yes, there's a couple of pro football players and also bridge players that I think Bob Etter, right? Bob Etter was a kicker in the NFL, a very good kicker.
Right, and a couple of former ones, Tommy Prothro, and then I forget the guy's name. I think he was from St. Louis,
Uh-huh.
or the city, somewhere around there. And he played in one of the first couple of Super Bowls.
Oh,
And but he, you'd see him and he could barely walk. He got beat up so badly playing football. But
yeah.
I
Well, I
think
mean, sorry.
no, I was just saying I think when he was around 60 is when I met him, and it was a very slow, painful walk.
Um,
So I don't think football did him too well over the years. And plus they didn't make they make more in one game these days than those guys made in their lifetime.
well, yeah, I mean, sometimes people talk about chess boxing, not so much bridge boxing, but those are definitely people that I would not want to play in bridge boxing against.
His name's Larry Seeley just texted me. His name is Cheryl Hedrick.
Cheryl Hedrick.
Hmm?
Yeah. So here it looks like Shermer made a splinter. Would you have, if you had the splinter available, would you make the splinter here with the stiff king of clubs?
When partner asks for shortness, I think you have to show it.
Well, I think
But-
this is more of just a general inquiry for,
Yeah,
I don't know.
well, I'd be thinking about the hand. I mean, if partner has like ace, king, queen, fifth of spades and the ace of diamonds,
Yeah,
they have a slam.
yeah,
So yeah, I would make it. I wouldn't like it, but I would make it.
yeah. Well, so now, Claire has some work to do here, with the club suit, but I mean, certainly nice to have a club lead here.
Club lead, say it goes club lead. And the club back, you up, and now they play a spade. And it goes to get low, king or queen in the duck. Now the declarer has to guess what to do.
Mhm.
And then the other possibility with the diamond return is they'll probably lead. I don't know what they'll lead, but they'll lead a spade from dummy after getting there either with a club or a heart. And again, South should duck smoothly.
Yeah,
So, let's say they play a heart up, then lead a spade, and you duck. And then they play another heart up, and they lead a spade, you cash two spades, and you think dummy. So that would be two. Yeah, they're just gonna make it.
yeah. And also, especially with hearts 3-3 coming in, that's
Yeah, but Paul's still probably tactfully, it's probably right to duck.
yeah,
It's not usually right to give up the trump control with ace third or ace jack 10.
unless the defense is like trying to start a cross ref or something, it's typically right to duck the ace.
Even if the honors are split, sometimes it's right to duck twice. If partner has the 9, you might retain control, but those plays are rare. Where they lead like to the queen, you duck and low back to the king, and they're playing your partner for ace doubleton. And so now you win the jack and cash the ace.
Yeah. So here ducking smoothly is out of the question at this point, but he still ducks.
Yeah, it was quick enough that Neil's not going to know for sure whether it was duck or not.
That's true, especially on the tablets. It's a bit harder to tell if maybe I don't know, your opponent is like up getting some water or something. Yeah.
Or looking at the previous hand and you're not on the page.
Yeah. I must admit, I've done that a couple times.
I think almost everybody does that.
Yeah. It's hard to, well, I mean, we're watching Hammond here, so I think Bob Hammond would not approve of that. He's famous, if I'm not mistaken, he's famous for being big on, you move on to the next board, last board doesn't matter, but the rest of us are winning. So we look at the last board.
And by the way, you call them the great Bob Hammond. In
Yeah.
my opinion, that's a big underbid.
The greatest Bob Hammond.
Yeah, Bob is incredible. You know, he hasn't lost much. What is he, about 84?
Something like that. But yeah, Bob Hammond, he's like considered probably by most to be the Michael Jordan of bridge.
Michael Jordan, not Mario Lemieux, Gretzky and Babe Ruth all in one. How's that?
Yeah. Yeah. He's just an absolutely fantastic player who just completely dominated bridge. Still dominates. He's the CEO of this company.
SCA.
Oh,
Promotion.
oh, sorry. But in addition to that, he's just very loved by the bridge community. I haven't met him, but what I do know is that everyone loves Bob.
Yeah, he's a gentleman at the table unless you really piss him off. Ethics are great.
Yeah.
He's been a great teammate.
Uh-huh. You were on the nickel team with him?
Yes. Yeah, for about 7 years.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, Ralph Katz plays with Nick Nickel, and the nickel team has just been a bridge dynasty for I don't know how many years, but longer than I've been alive, probably. The nickel team has just been winning and winning. Okay, so we see declare, cash a heart here. Interesting. I think declare probably decided with the slow duck. It wasn't that slow, but I think if I was declare, I would think that the duck was slow enough to indicate that the ace of spades was offside. So maybe that's why declare is trying to cash a heart, thinking that the over rough probably isn't going to hurt. So here it looks a little dangerous for declare, who has a losing diamond, but that
No,
can
the dummy's good.
declare is just totally safe at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we go to the other table?
Yeah.
See if there's anything interesting.
Four
There are
spades.
the 4 spades. Well, we were used to all these swings on every board, and a couple boards are flattish, and you feel like nothing's going on.
Yeah, so we came just as this contract is going down 1, which could be a potential swing. We'll see all the hands in a second here, I think. Maybe it'll show them, or not. Okay. Let's see.
4, it's in the 4th grade.
Yeah,
So
so
they had 6, 7, they had 9 top tricks and no trump.
yep. That should be a swing in the favor of the Lewis team. And the Lewis team has had a pretty decent set so far. They came in down 2 and now they're up by a little under 19. It's unclear how many imps they've actually picked up. I don't know if the penalty came in place before or after, but
No, I think before.
yes.
I think the directors go back sometimes and look at the tape just to make sure nothing happened. But Nick and I were about to get one, and his computer was down for 10 or 12 minutes. And you know, the director said, you guys are 6 minutes late. And it's like, well, my computer was down. You know, was I getting, you know, credited for the extra time? And so we didn't get the penalty because I'm sure that was the case. It didn't
Yeah.
occur to me. We were slow.
I mean, it's definitely there's a lot of benefits to the tablets. I think the main one being there's a lot less UI that happens, but definitely the tech issues can be a big problem. There was, I mean, in one of my matches, there was also a dispute because there was a director call that ate up some time and the opponents were getting a time penalty, and it's just not really what you want to have to focus on when you're playing bridge. But oh, so one no trump doubled here.
Wow, huge swing, a low club lead and the jack of diamonds, which would be pretty good here for the defense.
Pretty
But
killer.
to get a diamond lead.
So now that brings up declare up to at least 4 tricks, but almost certainly more than that.
Or
So now we see declare looking to establish a heart trick, which
yeah,
are 5 tricks.
I might have played the king of hearts and then a low spade when the king of hearts folds, unless the jack comes down.
Or it's in a low.
But you know what? No, they opened the heart. So unless there's stiff ace of hearts, you know, getting them to duck the king of hearts seems a lot more likely than
So now
stiff ace.
I think Mitch realizes at this point that he's probably not going to make his contract, and he's just trying to take as many tricks as he can. So the opponents have 7 chop tricks at this point. Oh, but
Yeah, Mitch will get the last 3.
they might have to be a little careful here. Should be okay though. Mark just has to play a low club to kneel and then overtake the club, which will be indicated at that point. But yeah. All right. Looks like Mark is not going to save his beer card here. He's going to lay it on the table.
In the trials, I got yelled at for winning the last trick with the 2 of diamonds.
Oh,
instead of 7 of diamonds.
come
I don't
on.
drink beer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not allowed to. I'm only 18, but I had a beer in the trials and I was playing against Chris Flinken. Well, this was in the mixed trials. And after he said he couldn't think of why I wasn't just claiming. Like he was like, why is he playing this one out? And then, oh, okay. He saw the beer card and it all made sense. I think it was Chris Flinken at least. Yeah. So if those of you that don't know, there's kind of a bit of a tradition that if you win the last trick to make or set a contract with the 7 of diamonds and diamonds aren't trump, then your partner owes you a beer. So if you ever see someone who has an easy claim, but they're just playing it out and they win the last trick with the 7 of diamonds, that's why. So here, does this actually matter? Yeah, doesn't.
When I didn't win with the 7 of diamonds, the opponents were trying to tell me I not only owe my partner a beer, I owe my team a beer and the other team a beer.
Yeah, oftentimes you'll see disputes about the beer card, and they're almost always, no, you owe me a beer. No, you owe me a beer. It's never I owe you a beer. Some people have different rules. Some people like to play that diamonds can be trump. I think that's a whole bunch of baloney, for lack of a better word here. All right. So here this should be another swing.
What are they in? Oh, one heart, yeah,
Yeah,
one heart. One club, one diamond, yes, one heart.
yeah. Let's see. So the one club opening was 3 or 4, 4, 3, 2. Oh, I see. It's a bit of a weird alert, but I think
Yeah, well, I don't know if you're alerted anymore. You used to, when you could be 4, 4, 3, 2, and you open a club. You
yeah.
play one diamond promises 4, but I don't know if that's an alert now.
I
But when
think
you're playing screens, you might as well just tell everybody everything.
yeah. I think it's still like a mild alert. I think you just say like could be 2.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't
well,
play.
it could be 4, 4, 3, 2 in this situation only.
Mhm.
A lot of people play it could be 2, but they may even have 5 diamonds.
Yeah.
Roy and Sabina play, it could be 2, and they may have a 5-card major.
Interesting. Do they play
But
so what do they play for the rest of their bids? I'm curious about that.
what was that?
What do they play for the rest of their bids then? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I think one of the majors, either a good hand or unbalanced.
Ah, I see.
Here, I think it's a little odd for West to pass one heart when East didn't open 2 hearts. I think he was just trying to get out of dodge, but his overcall's not great, but it's not that bad. I think I would have just did a no trump.
Yeah.
Hoped I had a spade stopper.
Yeah. And it's North didn't bid 1 spade, and South isn't going to have 5 of them, so lack of a spade stopper isn't good, but it's not a huge concern.
Yeah, the problem might be partner has, Jack 5th of hearts on this hand. And, might have some sort of a diamond fit.
Yeah. So we see another swing is going to come for the Lewis team. They've had quite a good set. Picked up 32.75 imps. I'm not sure, something like that. Yeah, and looks like there's 7 minutes left in the round. Hopefully players have finished within the time frame.
Oh, this is the last board.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Olivia, thank you.
Yeah.
You did an excellent job.
Yeah, this was
Thanks
fun.
with your analysis.
Thank you. So what, the defense probably has like 3 hard tricks here or something.
3 hearts and an uppercut. Well, not exactly. They can smother the 10 of hearts.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Linda probably should ruff with the queen, but it doesn't have to be right.
Yeah. We'll see what she does. If she does rough with the queen, then when Neil wins, he'll have to play the jack of hearts, pinning the 10. So 7, 6 are good. If Linda roughs with the 10, then
No, she won't ruff with the 10. She'll either ruff with the queen or
Yeah.
pitch a club.
yeah. But if she does rough with the queen, then Neil will have to guess this in order to make. My guess is that he'll
I think
probably
we're gonna make one. I
what?
think we're playing for the over trick, I think. They have 4.
Well, if Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. Got a trick ahead of myself. But regardless, this should be a nice pickup for the Lewis team, who will extend their lead to over 40. That being said, this is only 30 boards into a 120 board match, so still a lot of bridge to be played, still a lot of swings that will come. Saw a lot of swings happen in this match. Only 30 boards in, already it's going to be 180 imps have been swung in 30 boards. It's a lot of imps.
It's 20 less than the set before.
Yeah, the set before was 100 imps were swung in just 15 boards. So if this pattern continues, there certainly will be enough imps for the Hammond team to make a comeback. And with the great Bob Hammond in, the greatest Bob Hammond in, I wouldn't be confident with any lead. You know, someone with that much experience who just knows how to win. Must be scary. All right, so we didn't see the ruff with the Queen of Hearts, so there was no guess to be made, and this will just make on the dot. So I guess doesn't matter what happens on this trick, but we'll wrap this up. Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you. Take care.
Have fun. Yeah, take care. And I'm gonna figure out how to stop the stream. But I hope everyone enjoyed, and yeah, continue watching because there's a lot of matches, a lot of matches to watch. So I know I'm gonna commentate on a few more, and hope everyone enjoyed. All right, bye.